Hello tubers, it's Robert 28, 1979. Guys, as y'all saw in the last video, I had that Craftsman in here. Well, I got the 646 in here tonight. Battery died on the camera, and so I didn't get any video of finishing that up, but I kind of started on this a little bit, taking the throttle cables loose. Found out why I wasn't wanting to start is the damn starter cylinder over there is acting goofy. Try to start with the key, it clicks and barely drags. Jumping, it fires right off. I'm still going to repower it though, because this motor does not have a charging system on it. You got to charge the battery all the time. The carburetor is real cantankerous on the Onan. The pointers is right here in this box right back behind that carburetor. They're a pain in the butt to mess with. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just done with it, and I'm going to put that motor in it. Yes, this is the motor off that Craftsman, which, turn it all off here, you'll see, 18 horsepower. So I am going to end up having to trim this shaft down on this one, and I'm hoping the shafts are the same size. I don't know. I sure hope they are. But got this out last night. Pretty easy to do, really. And yanked that rest of that Craftsman motor out the door and right around the corner there. It's where I'm sick, because I'm going to take the mower deck and stuff off, but I did drive it in here under its own power, or at least to the door anyway, and it died. Started it up while I was in here, raised the bucket up, and I put a strap on it to kind of hold it while I take the motor, because these cylinders do leak off a little bit, so I don't want to be sitting there working and raise my head up and hit my head on the bucket. So, but there are going to be some differences and changes done. I mean, the choke lever's right there on the side, that's coming off and going away. I've got a hole here and a hole right there, so I might use this hole here. I'm not sure. I don't even know what that label was for. It's kind of was wanting to go back original with choke and throttle right there, but which I still may do that, because I took the throttle cable off that Craftsman, which I don't know if it's going to be long enough, but I went ahead and took it off anyway. Because if anything, I can mount it, take this one loose and mount under here, and have the throttle and the choke back where they're supposed to be. The 3-point lever, which are actual raise and lower, I'm going to see about rehooking all that back up, and I'm going to get started here pretty soon on rebuilding the 3-point hitch for this thing. I thought about reusing that plate. The problem is every hole is busted out. There's no tab there, there's no tab there. The only thing holding it on right now are these bolts that somebody else put in there. That one there, and there's no one back under here. Those two are broke off, so I'm going to have fun getting those out. So, yeah, I got my work cut out for me on that. So, but I might be able to use a couple parts, piece off here. I doubt it, because this thing's so cobbled up. It's just, oh my goodness, horrible. Let's see if I can turn the light on here. It might show up a little bit better. Y'all can see there, it's just cobbled up. Somebody made a mess of this thing. But this piece is actually straight. So I might use it, might straighten this. I might just cut that tab off completely. I don't know what the heck they were doing to bend it so bad and tear it up so bad, but and I might even just come in here and splice in and weld ears on this thing on both sides where it's broken, which it almost acts like it's been cut deliberately that way, and like that's the way it's supposed to mount, with those bolts there and those there. Which it might be different on this. The 444 and the 222 take 2 bolts on top and the 2 bolts in the bottom. Turn the night shade off. There we go. So I don't know. That may be how this one's set up. This is the first 646 I've had, but the rod that runs across, I'm going to cut that rod off and replace it. On that bottom, you see it's bent on this side, and it's bent on this side and wore down real bad. Lifting arms, I'm going to, instead of doing straight arms like I did on the 222, I'm actually going to bend these to bend them out to work with bigger plows. Because I've got an opportunity to pick up a bigger offset disc, a double offset. And I'm going to want it to pick up a weight box. Because with no weight in the back of this thing, this sucker will tip up pretty quick and easy. Even picking up just another riding lawnmower, it sure does teeter top pretty bad with no weight on the back. At some point, I am going to take this valve loose in here. The loader valve, which you can't hardly see, but you know, right there it is. I'm going to take it all apart, put new seals and stuff in it. I'm going to do the same thing with the forward reverse control valve underneath, the lift cylinder valve, that whole jettison. I'm going to go through it and redo it. This thing in reverse has absolutely no power. Unless you got this thing at full throttle, you can lay that bucket down and back drag about 2 feet and it stops. So I'm going to have to tear the drive motor out, tear it down, rebuild it too, which is no big deal. Unfortunately, I do not have the clutch set up for this. You know, they had the front clutch with the fan and everything. I did not get that with this machine. So, being brilliant as I am, I hope this works and don't add too much vibration to this motor and destroy it, is I've got a fan, some washers and stuff. That pulley came off the front of that motor. That's what the actual drive belt for that Craftsman was for the rear end. And I welded on a piece of just galvanized pipe. I didn't weld it solid because the bolts, I don't want no interference with the bolt heads and bolting it back on. And then I took a carriage bolt, which, I mean, by some of y'all don't know what a carriage bolt is, but that's more or less a carriage bolt. This isn't the same type I used, but this is actually for a Chevrolet, 80s model Chevrolet bed bolt. But same theory, stick it to the bench grinder, ground the lip down right there, set it in the end, got it set deep enough, and welded the piss out of it. The other way, I can set this guy, which, this right here, if you're wondering, is the, take a Chevrolet idler pulley or tensioner pulley. This sits in front, it's got a bolt that goes through it, or vice versa. And it holds that tensioner pulley on the tensioner arm. Well, I reamed it up with a reamer. It'll stay in my hand if I don't drop it. To where it'll more or less slide right over here and just kind of thread down. And why did I do that for? Because my wheel isn't exactly flat, so I needed a flat mating surface. So that's what that's for. And then I took my die grinder here, right up the center of that hole, which isn't perfectly round, but that's fine by me. Then I set over that notch, put the washers on there, and the nut that's sitting over there, and tighten her down, and voila, I got a cooling fan for the front of that 646. So, with all that said, that's what I did last night. And tonight, there's the hood to the Craftsman. I gotta take it outside still. Tonight, like I said, I'm gonna tear that down, try to get ready to remove the motor out of it. And I may even let the hydraulic cylinders down on the boom, so I can roll it back outside, take it up the road, and pressure off the piss out of it and clean her up. So, can't let y'all see that, but yeah. And yes, that is cold. But it doesn't have the mountains. That shit's nasty. But anyway, like I said, I am going to be selling this motor. And this thing ain't going to zoom in good enough, but it is a Onan CCK-MS/13816. Serial number 46C883486. That's oil capacity there, 3.5 quarts, 12 volt, but it doesn't tell me what size it is, so I can only assume it's between a 14 and an 18 horse. The CCKAs, I believe, were 17.5 to 18s. This motor originally came off of a reefer unit, so it's not original to this 646. Hence why it doesn't have a charging system or anything else, and why it's got the belt drive pulley on the front. It's because it ran a belt that ran an alternator and a compressor for the reefer unit. So it does me a whole lot of no good really to have on this machine if it won't charge the battery. Because for what I'm fixing to put it through, it's going to need to be recharging itself. So, but anyway, that's just the video where it's at right now. We're starting, like I said, I'll get more videos tear down on this thing and everything else and all the holes in the hood, you know. That one, I'm assuming were at one time for exhaust stacks off of the old one or this machine or whatever they did. The big one there, I have no clue what the heck that one was for, unless they actually had this oil tank flipped around backwards and had to where they can reach down and open it. I don't know. The top hole on this side, that is the one I cut for the stack to come through. All of this was cut previous to me getting it, because they had the exhaust coming out and been in here. Or I'll take that back. I think I did that, but I don't know why I did that for. Oh yeah, that's right. Because this had a little stub set that came out here, which is why that was cut and bent back that way. I don't know why that was cut that way. It's not very rusty, so I don't know, but excuse me here while I shut this hood down, but yeah, see, that was cut for the exhaust, and I didn't do that. That, I don't know why it was cut for. I have no clue. I still ain't figured that one out yet. That was cut that way before I got it because of the exhaust. Because this thing had an exhaust that come down and shot straight down supposedly or something. I don't know how it originally went. But I'm actually looking at possibly going down and having a whole piece of metal rebent for a new hood for this thing. Because this thing's been cut out down here with the torch real bad. Same thing on the other side. Hacked here, all the holes that are hacked in it. It's cracked out here and on the other side with a factory induction hood pieces at. So I just think it'd be better off if I had another piece just bent and made and ready to go for it. Well, excuse me. And I've even thought about having the hood hinge backwards, hinge up from the front instead of from the back. That would make it a lot easier, on maybe a lot less headache. All the hoses would clear it and everything else. And it wouldn't be hitting my steering wheel, which I was looking at getting a factory steering wheel until I saw the price, and I was like, yeah, I'll wait on that for now. So, and then once I get all this done, eventually, within the next couple of years, this thing will get all tore back apart, tore down, and I'm going to do a full restoration on it. That's when I'll rebuild that valve and all the other stuff. I have a new piece made for right there. It's going to get a whole new paint job, new hoses, everything. I'm actually going to take the seat off of the 640 or the 444. Sorry, I got rid of the 444. I'm gonna take the seat off of the 222 and put it on here. Put that one back on the 222. Because the one that's on the 222 has got armrests on it that fold up, and that one on here. So, and I've got swivels. Don't ask me where I put them now. But I've got 2 swivels, seat swivels off a boat. I was gonna mount on here. So when I eventually find a backhoe attachment for this thing and go to a backhoe on it, I'll have a swivel seat. I don't like that little flip-up seat they had from the factory. I want one that swivels and be comfortable. But I guess that's it for now. I've got some work to get ahead of me, and once this deal is done with, then it's off to clean the crap out of this thing again and getting it all cleared out and get my truck in here before Friday. Because Saturday morning I am leaving for Oklahoma, Arkansas, and all that mess doing those banners again. But and Friday I'm not doing a damn thing on Friday because it's my birthday, so I'm gonna kick back and enjoy some barbecue and some hanging out with some friends and all the other good jazz that comes along with it. So, but anyways, guys, look forward to the next video coming. It'll probably be after I get this whole front. I'm undecided about taking that nose cone off yet, because I've got a plate in there I mounted, I welded in, and mounted the reservoir tank to it. So I'm not so sure about taking that whole nose bezel off yet. I may take that side strut off the side and slide that motor out the side, and then slide the other motor in and put it back together. I don't know. But anyways, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe, rate my videos, comment, share. If you have any ideas or anything, just let me know. So until the next one, y'all guys take it easy.